Hey guys, Rob from Georgia, aka VHS 82 apostrophe here with you with another episode of something weird, just a thought. Maybe not one, but a few. We just got out of seeing the new Insidious movie, The Red Door, a return to, or an extension of the first two films. Mark's a, there you go, Argento would like this, a little bit red. Well, let's see here. First of all, let me just say this. If you're going to the theater not to watch a movie, you probably should not be going to the theater if you're not going to watch the movie. That's got to be the most frustrating time I think I have ever freaking had, sitting there watching people endlessly getting up, going out, back down, back out, back in, back out. The entire freaking movie. If you're not going to see a movie, stay the freak home or go somewhere else. Agree?
Yeah.
Holy freak, was that frustrating. Way beyond more frustrating than this movie could have ever been, and the movie wasn't even frustrating. I thought it was a pretty solid directorial debut by Patrick Wilson. I thought it was pretty good. Would you, James? This is James in the back. Is his first time ever seeing a horror film on the big screen. What'd you think, James?
It was pretty fun, and I enjoyed it being my first horror movie in theater.
And I thought it was magnificent. Well, maybe not magnificent, but it was a really nice movie with really nice lessons, and yeah. I mean, I don't know how you could go and sit there and be like, this movie is bad, unless your whole purpose of the video is to be like, yeah, this movie is bad. I'm gonna look at every single tiny little thing until it's all painted out for you.
James, did it help cramming in Insidious Chapter 1 and then Chapter 2 just a couple days ago?
Yep.
This really felt like a nice, natural extension of the second film. What'd you guys think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we make a lot out of that, especially a film that comes out so long after the previous century it's supposed to follow. I thought it did a pretty good job of feeling like it was a good natural extension. I thought for a first time out in the director's seat, Patrick Wilson. Look, people do a whole lot worse the first time they get an opportunity to direct a movie. This is. I think I saw Jeremy John's review, and this movie, we definitely watched different movies. We did not see the same movie. This movie is not that bad. This movie was not bad at all for a first time out as director, and I am very much looking forward to seeing what Patrick Wilson might do down the road.
Further on, right?
What's that?
Further on, right?
Yeah, further. Yeah, into the preach once more. I guess, I don't want to make this one as long as we did the Evil Dead one, but takeaways. Sam, did you have any takeaways from this? Did you take anything away?
I like the moral of it. You have the story revolves around the Patrick Wilson and son about how. Because if you've seen the second one, you already know how.
Slow down.
Yeah, you already know how they were hypnotized to forget about the past two movies, and so this is 10 years later, and them slowly remembering what had happened. They get distant and they don't really like each other, kind of thing, and how the whole moral of the story ends up going. It was a really positive message that you don't really see, a father-son kind of thing. It's been a while since I've seen something like that. That's a new thing in this movie. Did it really nicely, I would say.
James, any takeaways?
Not exactly. I liked the movie and everything about it. I liked
other movies? Give me an idea without, spoiling this one.
The scene from the other movie.
Yeah, so there's a scene from Multiverse of Madness that reminded me from another part of this movie.
Interesting. Okay.
I also like how the movie creeps you out in ways that not many other movies creeps you out with. There's some scenes in this that's like, hey, I think maybe that happened in like one other movie, but it was an older, say, Italian movie or whatever. And it's like, it's I would say it's difficult for modern movies to just creep you out.
I guess it's okay to just say that Dalton, the main focus from the first two entries, he is an art student, and I really dug just the first time he's in class with his with the professor, and she's for real, man. That professor's for real, man. If you didn't come in ready to further, I guess, pun intended, I guess, your own ability to paint, but it's that is the vehicle for him for some of these memories, and I thought it was kind of creepy, just the idea that, with him being being told he was in a coma for, what did they say? He was in a coma for how long?
Like a year.
About a year? And just repressing the memories and, and just having them slowly, but, ultimately, begin to flood back. I thought the whole setup was pretty good, actually. How they decided to do it, at least one last time, perhaps re-explore, or at least begin to tie up whatever loose ends might have been at the end of the second chapter. Without spoiling it, favorite scene real quick?
Favorite scene, probably one of the scenes where like Dalton has an interaction with something from the further. Probably.
I'm not sure. There's like a lot of scenes in it I really like. I guess if I just had to just spot one out right now, it's when Dalton's in the further and he's in that frat house and there's that guy he sees. Oh man, that guy's at the toilet and then, he ends up finding a little more out about that guy.
I think my favorite part was the opening scene in the classroom, and just his attachment to the what he's beginning to paint, and how that is utilized. I thought was an interesting. It almost seemed, dare I say, a bit Lovecraftian. It sort of reminded me of a story or two. Maybe Picture in the House. I think the Picture in the House. Maybe if I'm thinking of the right title. There's another one I'm thinking about. Can't think of the title off the top of my head, but it did seem to have a bit of a Lovecraftian flair to it, even if subtly. I thought. Did you kind of feel that at all?
Kind of, but I mean, all of those movies kind of had those that feeling of the unknown, until you really know. But with the further, you never really know it until the writer's here, boom, there you go. But the movie didn't do that, so you still don't really understand how it kind of operates. You can make assumptions. You could kind of maybe connect some unconnected dots. Actually, I'm not gonna say it.
I really like the girl too. The girl that is initially hooked up with Dalton into his room, and has got to get a room change because of a mistake. But I liked her character in this. I thought she did a pretty good job. Interesting directorial debut by Patrick Wilson. Should people pay to go see this, Sam?
Yes, unless they're gonna just stand up and go get some popcorn or go use the bathroom every 5 minutes.
Yeah, literally every 5 freaking minutes. It was the same people over and over and over. And James, should people pay to go see this?
If they're into into these kind of horror movies, then probably. But if they're just going for like what Sam said, or just to like be there or something, then probably not. But if you enjoy horror movies and stuff like that, then
Yeah, if you're a really big fan of the first and second, but sort of got washed out perhaps maybe by the films that came after, it's definitely worth revisiting the first two and going to see this as a good extension of that second film. Not really, well, I really can't say this because I really haven't seen the other films, but I know this is the natural extension to the second film, and so I guess the trilogy is the 1, 2, and
5.
Yeah, it's this 5.
Yes.
The Red Door.
It's kind of like when you say watch Unbreakable and then Split and then go to the theater to watch Glass. That was very nice. It's very similar. Obviously different because different types of movies, but it was like that. Just felt like it picked right up.
And it's always good to support someone in their directorial debut too. It's always good. I hope he has a good career in directing. So anyhow, this is VHS 82 apostrophe, and I think we all say, if you got the cash, man, go check it out. Go Bills.
This is not a dream.